What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, got some information about Adrien Broner no longer being with BLK Prime. And personally, I wasn't going to really say much about that until I heard something that was worth even mentioning. And it's pretty much redundant, but there are some points and factors that comes out of this. Adrien Broner, right? This is not about, like for me, I'm not starstruck. I'm not a fan of anybody's. I like certain fighters more than I like other fighters, but it's the fight game itself in general that intrigues me. Okay, the abilities of the fighters I respect. Okay, and I appreciate, but it makes it that much easier for me to do what I do because I don't speak and I'm in my feelings because of something that's happening with the person. And a lot of times you find that people are doing things to themselves. They're bringing problems on themselves. But the fanboys are, I'm such a fan of this guy. Oh, I really love this guy. You got to love him. You have to. This guy's just, he's this, he's that. Okay, yeah, whatever. So therefore, they will never give you a legitimate assessment. They will give you a bunch of their feelings and a bunch of nonsense. Okay, and assumptions. So Adrien Broner said he's no longer with BLK Prime. They basically, there's no beef. They just mutually agreed that they could not give him what he wanted, right? Everything that he wanted. So they mutually agreed, and he said he's a free agent. The same video he's speaking, he's talking about Al Heyman giving him money, and that he said that they were out blowing thousands of dollars a night. Like easily, just every time they get money, just blowing it. They were spending money. And he said he came to him and said, look, man, why don't you give me all my money at once? And that Al told him there's no more money left. What money, right? And he said, it's probably true because we was just spending money. So, I mean, you look at it like, so it was cool because we were spending money. So he already admitted he doesn't know how to budget his money. I said a long time ago, Adrien seems like the type of person that he's so into this about billions, we out here getting money, that when he gets it, he blows it. And when he blows it, it's like, now that my money's low, hey, Al, how about another fight? Oh, but man, why you hating on Adrien, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Nobody's hating on nobody. Reality, I'll say this again. Adrien Broner is a grown-ass man. Nobody's getting any younger. When I heard him say these things, it wasn't shocking. But now he's saying he's in the best shape of his life. Anybody can get it. We've heard all of this before. Okay, let's say you are in the best shape of your life. You didn't lose to Mikey Garcia because you wasn't in shape. You lost to Mikey Garcia because it wasn't sharp. You wasn't letting your hands go. Okay? You can be in the best shape ever. Are the skills there? Have you sharpened up? Have you gotten better as a fighter? Have you improved? You see, this is what matters. It has nothing to do with, it does have something to do with you being in shape, but that's not the reason why you lost fights in the past, because you wasn't in shape. No. So now, basically, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this. Okay, so what happens if you get another fight anytime soon and you lose again? Because we know when it comes to his high-profile fights, that's where he falls short. Last fight he had, most of us, including myself, felt like he really lost that fight. Anytime Adrien Broner fights anybody, I'm rolling with AB to win. But I'm not biased, I'm not a fool. All of the finger pointing that people are doing is childish. You can't blame a grown-ass man in Al Heyman for what Adrien Broner chooses to do, or blame Floyd Mayweather because of what Adrien Broner chooses to do. I feel like you should not air your dirty laundry to the public. Whatever you need to talk about with your management team or whoever is behind the scenes, just keep that between you guys. But everything now is, let's get in front of a camera and try to monetize this shit. Let's get in front of a camera and talk about this. Let's do that. Adrien Broner is a guy that if he did have his own YouTube to not just get on here and talk trash about fighters and say a bunch of nonsense and then don't fight, or something goes wrong, or lose, and then talk about haters and how I came from ordering cornflakes. No. If he actually had the mindset, even to just same type of, like Sean Porter's doing it. Different fighters, different MMA guys. People are getting their own podcast. They're getting it. They're owning up to something that this is mine. Okay. Adrien would have a lot of people interested in what in his product, but that's up to him to understand that. So to not have the business mind, who are you going to blame for that? Now let's go back to when we first heard about Terrence Crawford and Adrien Broner going to this BLK Prime. Up until that point, I never heard of BLK Prime. I had no idea who or what they were. So then I see this video, we about to get that money, smiling and everything. Okay, cool, we about to get that money, right? But then at the same time, I looked at who his opponent was. I forgot by name, but I looked at who his opponent was. Then I looked at Terrence Crawford and who his opponent was. And the fact that Terrence Crawford walked away from Errol Spence and claimed he was going to get $10 million. Right? Over here against David Avanesian. So I'm saying, wait a minute. If he's walking away from this fight with Errol Spence to go over here and fight an unknown fighter in David Avanesian, okay, a C-class fighter in David Avanesian, then he must not be getting $10 million to fight against Errol Spence. They must not see that kind of worth in him. As in terms of drawing power or something. It has something. He definitely can't be getting $10 million. That makes no sense to me, right? So then he says, nah, I'm going to run across the street, get this $10 million, and I'm going to come right back across the street. That's what he said. I said, no, he's not. He's going to go fight, and whatever they're paying him and Crawford, Spence are not going to get this. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And then what, Errol Spence is going to sit and wait for him? Okay, Errol Spence has the car accident and everything. But then, through him rehabilitating or healing or whatever, we hear he's fighting Keith Thurman at 154. Same thing. Do you think that he's going to go up to 154? What purpose, what sense does it make to fight at 154? Is it a title shot? Obviously not. You're the champion 147. This is just legacy. I'm going to go to 154 to fight a guy for a so-called legacy fight, and especially one that everybody thinks I'm going to win anyway. Then I'm going to come back down to 147 and fight who? If not Terrence Crawford. Because they already made it known they don't want to fight guys like Virgil Ortiz. They don't want to fight a Jaron Ennis. Oh, they're still up and coming. Their profile is not big enough yet. So my thing was, okay, people with all this fanboyism and wanting to point the fingers. Let's think about this, right? If BLK Prime actually paid Terrence Crawford $10 million, first of all, look at what he said. I already got half my money. He was being interviewed, and the guy's talking about, well, are you sure though? Like they're going to be able to pay you $10 million? Well, I already got half my money now, which is against the rules. That shows you, like, no, you don't get your money that way. Now, when you're fighting a guy who basically is paying you his, like, we're going to send you, my team, we're going to send you, X amount of money. That's different. But to say that, he got the money from, I covered that before. I'm not going to get into all that. But bottom line, he said he got half of his money already. And he's going to get the other half fight night. Why do you think that the interviewer even asked him that question? Because we don't know about this company. And all of a sudden, come to find out they were a streaming service that decided that they want to promote boxers now. So you mean to tell me, let's just think about this. The first two fighters that you want to recruit are two guys. Terrence Crawford is what, 34, 35? Okay, Adrien Broner is what, 34? So a guy with a bunch of losses to top tier fighters, another guy who's one of the pound for pound very best there is, but not the youngest, and you're going to have those two guys as the cornerstones of BLK Prime. So I say, okay, look at their opponents. David Avanesian, and then Adrien Broner gets a C-class fighter. So it's like, okay, I see what this is. Now, how long is that going to last? Okay, when they were a streaming service, or whether they still are, or whatever, you think that they advertised their company with just 2 movies, or you think they had a nice little library, or a little respectable library that, okay, yeah, let's watch this. And I said, damn, you don't hear any other fighters talking about going to BLK Prime. You don't see any advertisements from BLK Prime. Terrence Crawford and Adrien Broner are only bragging about the money that they're about to get. Remember, Adrien said $10 million for 3 fights, and or $12 million or whatever it was, and Terrence Crawford was supposed to get $10 million for 1, which shows you that they basically think much higher of Terrence Crawford, right? But the question that people have for Terrence Crawford was, listen, I don't personally care about their money. That's those guys' money. I'm not concerned with their finances, okay? What I'm saying, though, is for Terrence Crawford, he's the one who mentioned the $10 million, not anybody from BLK Prime. Then we come to find out that Blue Blood is associated with them and all this. Okay, whatever, do time. If they paid him $10 million, he could have easily shown. We've seen, not that I care to see it, but we've seen fighters in the past show you the check that they've gotten. I remember months after Floyd fought Pacquiao, he showed the check. I ain't even cashed this yet. And I guess this was because people like 50 Cent and Oscar De La Hoya talking about, oh, he's broke and he needs money. That's why he's coming back to do exhibitions and all this nonsense. But at the end of the day, it's like, listen, we never even got the attendance. They no, I think they talked about the attendance. I think, was it 12,000 people or however, whatever it was, that they said came out to see Terrence Crawford. But we never got no, I don't remember us getting any numbers about that. I remember people saying, but we never got any official number. We never got the pay-per-view buys, none of that. Anytime a company comes out, okay, and they're trying to make something happen, they're trying to make a statement, that company will always show you their success rate. Why? Because they want you to know we're big players. We are major players. We're not some little flash in the pan company. We're here. And you didn't hear anything about the pay-per-view buys, any of that. When this happens, okay, it's going to make people look and say, well, damn, if you guys are really successful like that, if this event itself was successful, because you got to remember, like, look at the card itself, who was on it. And for the main event to be an A-class fighter versus a C-class fighter, I mean, just think about that. That would mean I'm just here for Bud. Nobody came for no goddamn David Avenesian except for his team. So when you think about it, right, that made no sense. Bud Crawford makes a tweet saying, oh, people just mad because they don't know, they can't prove that I didn't get 10 million. Like some really childish shit. It's like, Bud, not for nothing. Now, speaking for myself, I don't give a shit how much money you make. That's your business. But the fact that you decided to talk about you're leaving the Errol Spence fight to go across the street and get 10 million just to come back, which we knew was bullshit, that you wasn't, we already knew something, this fight's not going to go down. We already knew that shit. You made it public. Not BLK Prime, as I said earlier. You did. Then you got like Blue Blood saying that, yeah, he getting that 10 million. People should be applauding. They should be happy. I'm not jealous of nobody's success or envious, none of that type of shit. What the fuck am I applauding for? That's your money. I mean, hey, more power to you. But it's in question because it all sounds like bullshit. It doesn't add up. And you're not even fighting a guy worthy. What the fuck? You need the right dance partner, right? What the fuck does David Avenesian bring to the table that's going to help sell out a fucking arena? You understand what I'm saying? So that, like I said, this is like a Bud Crawford situation. Like, we're here for Bud. Nobody cares about no damn David Avenesian. Let's just say it like it is. Okay? So now, you take Adrien Broner on the other hand. Fight canceled. Something always goes wrong. Something just has to happen to prevent a fight from happening with Adrien Broner. And so many other fighters. So now, all of a sudden, all this bragging about we about to get money. Yeah, niggas hating. They hating. We about to get this money. Hell yeah, about to get this money. Smiling, chewing that gum and shit. Now, all of a sudden, we decided to part ways. The problem with Adrien Broner, man, is like he burnt a lot of bridges. Told Eddie Hearn to suck his dick. And basically, I don't think PBC want anything to do with him again. Where's he got to go? What's left for him? Because if you look at the options, and there's opponents out there for him, yeah, there's fights out there for him. But who's willing to really take a chance with Adrien Broner? And then for him to have all these high demands when, Adrien, you're not the draw you used to be. You're not that draw, but you have a fan base that will follow you, you know, a diehard fan base that will stand with you. But that's not enough. So for you to try to speak about what you want as if you have Floyd Mayweather type stats, or, you know, or even Errol Spence type stats, like, nah, Adrien is not that guy. It's just as simple as that. So burning bridges and all of this jumping on camera, fuck y'all niggas, don't call my fucking phone, and all this type of, it's like, man, you need to bury all of that and focus on doing business, being more professional. Because at the end of the goddamn day, Al Haymon ain't the one jumping on these videos talking about fuck y'all niggas and this and this. No, it's the fucking fighters that come out and try to, you know, they're blaming everybody and talking about everything that should be talked about behind closed doors. And if you're going to look at what the situation is as far as a company that's saying, you know, that you're saying is going to pay you $10 to $12 million for over 3 fights, and they're going to pay this guy $10 million to fight, and both of you guys are fighting against guys that nobody cares to even see you fight, then you have no other fighters on that roster that's talking about this company, or no fighters that this company is promoting. So when I said, if that's the case, this is a startup company, right? Common sense. Adrien Broner and Terence Crawford need to be helping to promote this company to the fullest. And you have some wise ass, oh, but that's what he has a promotional company for. Why would he do it? Shut up, jackass. Because in this day and time, where you have social media, when you can promote shit so easily, you know, like back in the day, how you drive up and down an area and you got cardboard or, like, you know, construction paper like signs attached to the poles trying to advertise a party or something, a company. Yeah, they don't do it that way anymore. Okay? That's why. You're going to be a part of something. Let's say if me and, say, Sporting Icons decided we were going to be business partners, right? Let's say whether he's an on-screen, let's say if he's on screen, on the camera figure, and I'm behind the scenes, or vice versa, right? Either way, I'm going to promote to the fullest what we're doing. He should be doing the same thing. If he's shining, I'm shining. We're making money. The company's growing. People get to know who we are. Not me sit back and go, oh, well, I'm going to let them do. Now, if that's how it's set up, that you have a so-called promotional company, well, you got to use your common sense. And look, Bob Arum openly disrespected Terence Crawford. And then he openly shot it right back to him. And both basically, I'm leaving, I don't need him or whatever. I'll go, I don't care, I don't need, right? Basically. After all of that, calling him a racist and that, you know, top rankers, this and this. And what did he do? He signed right back with them. You understand? So through all that nonsense, right? At what point don't you realize, well, my promotional team is doing nothing? He don't have a promotional fucking team. So for the idiots that love to run their mouth and talk, it's like, man, shut up. You don't even know what you're talking about. But at the end of the day, this is what I'm saying. This is a startup company. And you've seen and heard it so many times. Yes, a startup company as boxing promoters that only had 2 guys. Okay? Let's look at anything. They have a brand new boxing game that never came out called Undisputed. Imagine they're going to show you 2 fucking fighters and say, yeah, trust us, more is coming. You're trying to get people looped in. You better have some fighters on there that, oh yeah, okay, I can't wait to use him. Yeah, No, as I said, you think when they, as a streaming service, they only put 2 fucking streams up and say, well, this is what we're doing. No. You have to have a little catalog that's going to get people's attention. So, for BLK Prime, for what they were trying to do, it doesn't seem like it was well thought out. As for Adrien Broner and Terence Crawford, it's not a package deal. One guy has nothing to do with the other. They both just happen to sign to the same company at the time. So this is what I'm saying. What do you think Errol Spence is doing and any other fighter when they wear a pair of trunks while they're fighting and you see those initials SNAC on their trunks? They're promoting snack. What do you think they're doing at the end of a fight? I like to think, Al Heyman, PBC, thank for people for coming out, think snack, if you haven't had it, that's a great product. They make great products. I like to think snack. They're promoting. That's what they're doing. Radio works the same way. People think that these disc jockeys are getting paid for playing records. No, they get paid for playing commercials. Okay, the music is the bonus. That's what lures you in, because you get to listen to music that you like. You understand what I'm saying? They get paid for doing commercials. So all those different advertisements, how you think they're paying the bills? Every other okay, you got 4 or 5 stations all playing the same 10 damn songs all day. You think they're all getting paid to play the same song? No, they're getting paid for the commercials. So people don't even understand advertising. They don't understand your role that you play. Anything that you are a part of, you're promoting it, especially as a startup company, because you are a part of it. And especially if you are that I'm the big dog here. You understand? So they don't have a roster of fighters. This was a deal that they did with Terrence Crawford, which never proved that he got $10 million, right? We don't know the pay-per-view buys, none of these things. So it does not matter what you say. It's what you can prove. And people just couldn't buy this shit. Like, they're paying this man $10 million to fight David fucking Avanesian. And let me tell you something. If they gave him, Terrence Crawford, if he got $10 million, I'm willing to bet you David Avanesian didn't get no more than $100,000. Maybe 150, maybe. I guarantee you he's somewhere. That dude ain't getting no 5 million, 3 million, 1. I guarantee you he didn't. And if they're not going to disclose Terrence Crawford's numbers, you think they're going to do it for David Avanesian? And David Avanesian doesn't have any conversation in that whole thing. He has no words in that whole conversation. Why? It's not important to him. But 2, he didn't get no big ass payday for that shit. Okay, you know what was in it for him? The opportunity to pull off an upset against a great fighter. This wasn't no fucking mega fight. Who the fuck is David Avanesian? So basically, at the end of the day, what's happening with Adrien Broner now with leaving BLK Prime, I'm not fucking surprised. I said from the very beginning, him and Terrence Crawford just sound like, yeah, okay, about to get this money. Okay? And then, so, where's the promotions? Where's the talk? Hey, BLK, well, nothing. And who else? Listen, even with them being signed to them at the top, did you hear any conversations about BLK Prime? No. The only time you heard them coming up is when Adrien and Terrence was being discussed, simply because people are trying to find out how legit this is. Because it just doesn't add up. Okay? It doesn't add up. You need the right dance partner to generate a good net revenue. David Avanesian isn't that. I forget the guy that Adrien was supposed to fight initially. He's known to be streaky. Sometimes he shows up to fight, then half the time he doesn't. But nobody cared about that fucking fight. It was more like, I'm just glad to see AB back in the ring. So both him and Terrence Crawford had that in common. They were the 2 guys that people were coming out to see against those particular opponents. So no, again, no big mega fight for either one of them. So what was BLK Prime going to do? Have Adrien and Terrence Crawford, and every time they jump in the ring, we're going to be able to pay you big money because the people that you're going to fight against isn't worth big money. So for them, it's the opportunity to beat you. And that just doesn't add up, and it doesn't make business sense. And if you're not turning profit, then what's the purpose of paying somebody $10 million? What's the purpose of paying somebody $12 million over 3 fights? What sense does that make? So I'm not shocked that he's no longer with BLK Prime. But the thing for Adrien, He needs to stay focused. And he's talking, I'm not drinking no more. I stopped drinking. I stopped smoking. Like I said, the things that he was doing in his life, for everybody, oh, man, that's fucked up, man. I'll probably start drinking too if my wife left me. No, ain't no need to do that, because while you out here drinking, making a fucking fat slob out of yourself, fucking your liver and your kidneys up, she's out fucking and sucking somebody else. So what the fuck does that do for you? Stupid. And as far as your kids and all that, maybe you're a bad influence. You're drunk all the time. You know what I'm saying? Your mood ain't right. Something, you know what? You don't know what was going on behind the scenes, and neither do I, and I don't care to know. But like I said, you're hearing his side of the story. Maybe he lost his wife and his family situation due to his drinking and his activities out. We don't know what that is. We don't know that. Okay? He's saying because he was drinking, but you don't know that, man. And then Adrien was doing wild shit. He admits it to himself. Okay? Just like when people was roasting him for fucking taking them 20s, big ass stack of just ripping them up. I don't know how them got there. I don't care nothing but 50s and 100s, yo. I don't know how that got there. Like, stupid shit like that, But, oh, man, come on, man. Let the man live. Let him have fun. But then you going to turn around bitching about not having money, but you're ripping money up and flushing it down the toilet? When you got starving people out here, well, you could have went in your same city. You always in your city getting in trouble, right? You could have went in your same city and said, hey, man, listen, bless. Take that and go get something to eat. Go help somebody that, you understand? Not the toilet, though. The toilet have no use for your damn money. So, again, here we are in a situation where Adrien Broner just keeps resetting. And it's like he's stuck in this mode right now. So, whoever he has his opponent next and all this, the can man is back, anybody can get it. Yeah. He just better hope that he wins. And, for people to take a chance on Adrien, this is what people are overlooking. And trust me, they're looking at Adrien somewhat like a gatekeeper, like a measuring stick for other up-and-coming fighters. And example, you see how you have champions that don't want to fight certain guys because they've gotten to a certain plateau, so they feel like it's a step back. So, I don't want to fight this guy. I need to fight guys that's already established. Adrien Broner is not in that category. See, because for him to try to pick and choose is like, Adrien, you're not the fucking draw. And let's say if you are the draw between these two guys, because the guy's relatively unknown, but he's skilled enough to beat your ass, well, that's the whole point. You're trying to prove you still belong here. Okay? And that up-and-coming guy is trying to prove that he does belong and that he's good enough to beat guys with respectable names. So, nobody's looking to give you some massive payday. That's what Adrien wants. But you're taking a chance on getting him this kind of money because, for one, if the people don't come out to see the fight, it depends on who he's fighting. Do you think that Adrien Broner is going to sell out a fight by fighting a C-class guy? Now, if you have a stacked card, there's other fighters on that card that people are coming up to see as well. But for you to fight a C-class guy and that's the main event, and there's nothing else going on, because, you can't have two A-class fighters and then the headline is going to be an A-class fighter versus a C-class. Adrien Broner is no longer an A-class fighter. He was never an A-class fighter. I always saw him as a B-. He's not a B- anymore. He's a C+. Let's just say it like it is. Adrien Broner is a C+ fighter. So he can fight C- fighters and still win. But he fought a C- guy that basically got the best of him. So now, and they gifted him that win. So now that he's saying he's in shape, he's back, and okay, cool. Just make sure you carry it into the ring when and if you get a fight anytime soon. Because you're only getting older. And again, people are looking at Adrien, and this is his last hurrah, man. He's the gatekeeper. He's the Derek Chisora at 135, 140. Okay? He's the Derek Chisora of 140. That's what he will turn into. Nobody's looking at Adrien Broner trying to get him some massive payday. Paulie Malignaggi told him, okay? I remember that interview. He said, man, look, enjoy it. Take it serious, though, man. It doesn't last forever. I'm telling you, before you know it, your prime is gone. And Adrien seemed like he don't take shit serious. Like, he walking around arrogant, smiling all the time about, smiling when he's being sarcastic about something and just talking like he had all the time in the world. And I think he felt like massive paydays was just always going to be there. No. When he was ripping that money up, flushed it down the toilet, he wasn't a billionaire. Wasn't close to being no billionaire. So just having a show about billions, he's a rapper, then he's a fighter, then he's a rapper, then he's a fighter, then he's neither, he's retiring, then he's all this stuff that was happening. What people fail to realize, when that time is ticking, you can't get that shit back, man. And fights that you could have and should have had are no longer there. Now you get to a point, you take whatever they give you. And Adrien Broner is learning shit the hard way. Now, I'm not sitting up here saying I want to see him suffer a goal. I don't get caught up in that. I'm just looking at the situations. Okay, when you're a father, when you're a brother, when you do business, when you have some intelligence, you see things. You can spread light. The problem is you got a lot of dumbass people that don't listen. They just want to do what they want to do. That's your life. But just stop bitching and moaning. When you keep, it's like you walk down the street, you see this big plop of brown stuff on the ground. And every time you see it, you step in it. Then go home bitching and mad because it's on your carpet, it's on your stairs, your house smells. And you do this every time. And somebody says, why don't you stop stepping in shit and walk around it? Oh, man, stop hating, man. Let the motherfucker do what he want to do. If he want to step in shit, okay, step in shit and stay the fuck away from me. You don't think that that's what happens with people? Because you're too fucking arrogant, too immature, too ignorant for your own good, and people around you are warning you, but nah, I gotta do me. Now, if you heard him set up there, you saw the same interview, you heard him sit there and talk about how he was blowing through money, how they were spending thousands of dollars every night. Simple. You put yourself in a situation. Not Al Heyman, not Floyd, nobody else but you. And when Floyd was telling Adrien Broner, slow down, man, you need to change your way. No, Adrien didn't listen. You hear Chris Eubanks Sr. saying like how his son could have been great, could have been champion, but he didn't listen. What the fuck do you think these guys are saying this for? Just to get in front of a camera and say it? But when Floyd was, oh, Floyd just jealous, Floyd just hating, Floyd don't want to see him make it. No. You don't feel comfortable with somebody that's not reliable. And Floyd knows his heart wasn't in it. Charles Barkley, remember when Michael Jordan told Scottie Pippen? Scottie Pippen made it known that Jordan told him. And Jordan wasn't being two-faced by making this comment. He's being honest. He told him he wasn't going to win a championship with Charles Barkley. Remember, when the Bulls broke up in 98, Scottie Pippen went to the Houston Rockets. He told him, he said, man, Charles Barkley will never win a championship because he's not dedicated enough. I've had to hire people and not hire people that I knew because I know once I get them there, they're not going to do their job. And I'm going to end up having to be the one to tell them that they got to go. And I told them to their face, plain and simple, man, listen, you here, I need you to do what you have to do. Man, you know like I know, your fucking ass party and get smoked and get high every goddamn night. Those habits are hard to break. And for me to hire you, and then all of a sudden, no call, no show. Oh man, yeah, I'm not feeling good. Calling out 3-4 fucking times a month, every fucking month. Bruh, no, I'm not gonna do that. You clean yourself up, get it together, then it can be something different. You don't think Floyd and Al Heyman saw this shit in Adrien Broner to say, nah, Adrien, you gotta be more dedicated. And that's my point. Charles Barkley, did he ever win a fucking championship? And like him, Hakeem Olajuwon, Clyde Drexler, and fucking Scottie Pippen, and couldn't win shit? Like he said, he's not dedicated enough. And that's what the fucking fanboys overlook. Because they're so busy that they don't pay attention to the details. So, no, it's not good. You walk around telling Eddie Hearn, suck your dick and fuck these niggas. I don't fuck y'all niggas. Nobody can do everything by themselves. And basically what people do, whether it's Showtime or any other fucking company, they're sitting back looking, going, man, nah, this guy's like a unstable little loose cannon. He wants things his way, but he's not dedicated enough to put the type of training in that he needs to get these things done. We want a winner. We're not gonna. Do you think fucking Showtime would have gave Floyd Mayweather the money he asked for if they thought that they was taking a chance on this guy? They thought that he wasn't going to be able to deliver. Do you think they would have did that? So when people are looking at what you're doing and looking at your history and how you handle people and how professional or lack of professionalism that you have, they look at all that shit, man. And they're like, okay, nah. So I don't care how much you like Adrien Broner. That's not what this is about. This is about, for one, being dedicated to this craft. Two, being able to win and deliver to stay, put yourself in a position and stay there. And then three, you have to have loyalty. Okay? Loyalty. Somebody's keeping the fucking lights on for your ass. And when you talking about fuck y'all niggas, I wanted this, I'm a real nigga, straight like that, these niggas haters and all that immature, ignorant, stupid shit, y'all not looking at the reality, bro. You looking at fanboy bullshit. Just saying, man, you know, I told you guys. Remember, it was Aries. Go back in the archives. I said, don't be shocked that this BLK shit don't last. I mean, like, real soon. Did I not say that shit to you guys? Yeah. Because it just doesn't make business sense. You cannot pay someone that doesn't sell. That's not a draw. And as talented as Terrence Crawford is, the guy is not a big fucking draw. He needs the right dance partner for the right situation to happen. Simple. Adrien Broner is not a fucking winner. He loses his high-profile fights, but people like him as a person. That's not good enough. Simple. And for a startup company that's willing to pay two guys a total of $26 million overall between the two without worthy opponents, that shit don't ring a bell to y'all and make you think, damn, yeah. That's why the interviewers were asking Crawford those questions. And Adrien too, yeah, it's all good, man. You know what I'm saying? Everything, hey, look. I told y'all, man, about to get this money, man. These niggas hating. Now look, back to the drawing board. I don't think Adrien's heart is in this. It's all about money grabs and bragging about it. And he think that he's still in his prime. And he's clearly not. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people. And that's not no fucking catchphrase or slogan. It's just facts. I will catch y'all in the next video.